These three artists are about to create original artworks in just 5 hours.
Why am I? 3D will come into the equation at some point.
This is what it currently looks like.
And they'll all be working from the same inspiration. Hey, Art, are you ready to see that inspiration?
Yes.
Yeah. Then remove your blindfolds! Let's get this birthday party started.
Hello, we're on.
And I think this is working. Hello. Okay. Look at how cute he is. Look at how...
Okay. I can't get out of my mind the idea of a cake eating itself. And whilst my plan is to do things in 3D, I just think I need to buy a real cake. There's going to be an element of character animation in this, and that's something I don't know how to do. But first things first, let's go buy a cake. Let's go. I'll be back, whenever.
Off we go.
I love that the cake is like super bright and colorful in graphics. I'm thinking of doing this idea of a cake that's deconstructed, like you can see all the ingredients and the utensils laid out in this really neat, cool graphic grid, and then I'll animate them in stop motion. First thing to do is go to the shops and get some cake ingredients.
I have genuinely no idea what I'm going to do. It's what, like 4.5 hours left? Less? Marie Antoinette. But there's a cake. I don't know. This is what it currently looks like.
Finally, Liam's had a breakthrough, but 2 of our artists are yet to return to the studio.
This is what I'm thinking. Does say display only though. Can I buy a whole cake or do I have to pre-order it?
You have to pre-order, I think 3 days in advance.
Ooh, I only have 5 hours. 1 slice of the red velvet. Actually, 2 slices of the red velvet. Just in case, just in case.
So I'm not really sure what's in a cake because I don't bake. Okay, there's a baking section. Great. Okay.
Liam, what's the plan?
So I started with a sketch, and then I'm going to bring that into Procreate, and then slowly build up the layers to make it feel painterly.
How do you get the painterly effect?
Great question. No idea yet.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Goldy! Goldy, what's your mission for today?
Doing a technique called replacement animation. Every frame I'll change the spoon for another spoon or the spatula for another spatula to give it this stop motion sizzle.
Get cooking good looking.
I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I make a lot of mess. Why am I doing this?
Getting a little bit worried about John. John, back from the cake shop. What are the next steps?
Just downloaded a bit of Adobe software that can use your own face to puppeteer a character rig. I need to set up like a little mini site. This is pretty ironic. I should probably have read that. Take a photo, then I'm going to do a really basic draft animation over the top of it. Then when I know what I'm doing, I'm then going to puppeteer a cake fork. I need the hot glue gun. Like scooping into itself. Oh. And hopefully it should be easy, but even as I say it, there are many logistical challenges and I'm not exactly sure how I shall overcome them.
I'm just going to leave these balloons with you. All of our artists are underway. John's in the south wing of the studio working on an animation live-action hybrid, something I've never seen him do. Liam's just across the way merging his modern illustration aesthetic with a vintage twist. And Goldy's in our studio cooking up a deliciously graphical stop motion. Hip hip hooray.
All right, so I finished my sketch, brought that straight into my iPad into Procreate, and then I did a more refined sketch over that to really nail exactly the pose that I wanted. From there, I started blocking the colors out and then the details, making it feel as realistic as possible. A lot of people use the smudge tool. I've never understood it and I don't get it. So I use a big soft brush with different opacities to create the shadows on one side, and then using that same brush but smaller as an eraser and start sculpting those shadows down. From there I'll do the opposite on the other side with the highlights with like a lighter color. And then I'll also go into more detail by using like textured brushes on the clothes and the body.
I found the secret ingredient, you could say, to my design to get it feeling finished. Sprinkles. At the store I was like, Goldy, those aren't on the cake, you shouldn't buy them, but something made me want to get them. And I think it was my friend John who once told me that in design you want big things and small things. Fine details is what make things feel finished.
I can't even video diaries because my phone ran out of batteries. I'm having sugar for lunch.
Do you not have some lunch?
Oh, no.
There's lunch there.
Oh, this has got jam inside.
Just an update, 2 frames into animating and I am kind of regretting using these sprinkles. Moving them every frame is a pain. Let's have a little look at the process here. So I'm in a software called Dragon Frame, which is like the industry standard for stop motion. They've got all these cool tools, like they've got this toggle mode here that flips back and forth between the current frame and the last one. And so what that allows me to do is in my replacement animation, I'm just like changing everything slightly. So with this butter, I'm just gonna flip it around. And now I've got my little changing butter. It's gonna be much faster than this when it animates, but it shows me what I need to know while I'm working. I can just like pull out these candles, replace each one, rotating it every frame. And then we do it all again every single frame. Gotta replace the hair. You gotta replace the hair. What?
I just finished shooting the cake.
Happy birthday to me. Oh.
I only had 2 takes because I only had 2 cakes. We had like 2 minutes to do it, which means that I made a lot of mistakes. The most annoying thing was my rig for my fork. I tried to hot glue the chopstick to the back of the fork. How long does one wait until hot glue reaches structural integrity? But it just would not stick. And so in panic mode, I just wrapped some blue tape around it and I was like, I'll work it out later. Later is 5 minutes later. When I cut into the cake, the rig goes over the plate and then the rig goes over the cake. There's really no way around it other than for me to do a clean plate and start painting that stuff out. As for the rig going over the top of the fork, that's a 5-hour job on its own. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that rig. I fear that there might be a giant hole in my fork for my final product, which would be not very pleasing to me.
I need a birthday hat.
I'm gonna do the background. I wanna do a little bit of animation. I don't have like an hour and a half to do that though.
With 90 minutes to go, Liam's made the decision to animate his illustration. Goldy continues to make a hideous mess in Studio One, and John, well...
So I've brought the image files into After Effects and I'm going to spend 5-10 minutes just going through and meticulously naming each and every layer because I need to parent certain layers to certain parts of the body. I start with, say, a hand. When that forearm moves, the hand moves with it. And you work your way up, the elbow to the shoulder to the body. Yeah, name your layers.
This is concerning.
How I fixed my hole in my cake fork issue. I decided that I'd just give him a really big hand and then I wouldn't have to deal with it. Actually, this one's a fist. So if you look at my left hand, I've gone with this classic 3-year-old drew someone's open hand. And then, because I had no idea how to animate hands, I thought I'd make it needlessly complicated, but also kind of simple at the same time. Let me explain. I went through frame by frame, matched the position of the fork. To animate the arms, all I did was extend a cylinder out, connected them using this fancy tool just called connector, added a rope simulator to these, hit play, and I made this. I really like it a lot. It brings joy to my heart, and isn't that what today's all about?
What's left to do?
I'm just finishing the animation now and I'm going to do a little bit of a color grade and then add some sound effects because I want it to be a little bit creepy.
So I just called it on the shoot. There's a few things I still need to fix up.
Oh dear.
Look, I've tried to last minute put claymation in.
I just realized that I made a mistake in my animation. Let me show you. In this frame here, you can see like this egg goes and like touches the other egg. He must have rolled around. I'm gonna try and cut out one of these eggs here from this frame, see if I have enough time to get that fixed.
Johnny, you got this!
I spent the first hour completely stumped. I thought I was totally behind. That's it, I'm done. Finished.
I spent most of my day doing roto and I definitely bit off more than I can chew.
There's a bunch of stuff I would love to fix up, but I think I'm gonna have to click render and just be happy with what I got.
Home stretch, how you feeling?
About as good as I can.
Proud of you. All done?
All done.
You legend. John, minutes to go, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty like my brain doesn't work anymore.
1 minute to go, artists!
I'm seriously not gonna make this. What happens if I can't render? Can I just show my screen? I'll just move my computer over and we can all view it inside of After Effects.
30 seconds!
I can do a lot in 30 seconds. You can actually get more time if you just if you just believe.
10, 9,
Oh my god, this is going to be right down to the wire.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tools down.
That was the most stressful cake-based activity that I've ever done.
It's time to reveal our artworks, and we're going to start with Goldy.
I went shopping, bought ingredients for a cake, and created what I guess I would call like a portrait of a cake deconstructed. No, what's the word I'm looking for? Deconstructed. Deconstructed. Yeah, a deconstructed portrait of a birthday cake.
Is that legitimate butter?
There's 2 different sticks of butters. I had Butterfingers all day.
I really enjoy the sprinkles. What is the big white blob? Is that ice? Is that like fondant?
That's like the cake batter. I had to look up how to make a cake today. When you mix the flour and the egg and the butter and the sugar, whatever, together. That's what it's supposed to be, but it's actually plasticine.
The eggs are wonderful. Everything's wonderful. I'd give it 5 Butterfingers.
Next up, we have Liam.
This is what I called let them eat cake.
Wow.
This is incredible and also makes me feel feelings in my stomach, like a nightmare type.
Yeah, it is nightmarish. It's a Victorian punk nightmare.
Originally wasn't supposed to be as creepy as this, but I
simply added a music box. 5 out of 5. A 5 out of a possible 5 candle flickers. That candle flicker was excellent.
And finally, we have John.
You can have your cake and eat yourself.
happy birthday to.
It's very funny. It's very funny. I love how the fork moves and the silly cake's mouth and eyes, and the fact that it seems to like not flinch or care when it's cutting itself. 5 out of 5. Possible. 5 out of 5.
Flailing arms?
Wonderful art, wonderful humans. Until next time, like and subscribe.